Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Again, we're all over social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Please subscribe. Do it right now. Subscribe. Thank you. All right, so Coachella is one of the biggest music festivals, and when it comes to headlines, they have heavy hitters. Now, according to Bloomberg, the president of Golden Voice, Paul Tullett, started looking to secure potential headliners for 2025 in April. Reports stated that he had his eyes on Kendrick Lamar and Rhianna. Unfortunately, both reportedly passed on the offer, per to several people familiar with the matter. We're 6 months away until next year's festival, and he's scrambling for a headliner. I'll start with you again, Brittany. Why do you think Kendrick and Lamar and Rhianna said no to this?
Kendrick tired of his own song. That's why he's tired of Not Like Us. Because I know I'm tired of it. But I mean, Rihanna, we know I think Rihanna is tired of music. She's making so much money with Fenty and all of that other stuff. And I know she said she's getting back in the studio or whatever, but I think she's enjoying motherhood and being in other spaces of the industry. That I think music is just like kind of like having to go back to like something you did before. And she's just not really like that interested in it. I think she's in a really, really happy space, and I'm really, really happy for her. But we do miss her music. Like I really do. So I hope she eventually comes back around. Um, and yeah, I hope they find somebody good. I mean, I'm not going, but yeah, I hope
Yeah.
they find somebody good.
Rumor has it Rihanna's set to make this huge comeback next year with a new album and a tour. So you would think this would be a good opportunity, but maybe she has other things in store. Chike, what are your thoughts on these two turning down?
I mean, I'm sure they have their reasonings.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's the bag. It's
Mhm.
either the bag or scheduling.
Yeah. Yeah. Lanier?
I mean, I've never been to Coachella and I never wanted to go. So I don't get the hoopla. And I don't like people like that. So me being in that type of setting, my anxiety, I don't.
Can we talk about Coachella for a minute and Essence Festival for that matter? Because that's like the Black Coachella.
Yeah.
So, what I don't like about the venues is that you have to pick and choose where you want to go because there's simultaneously things going on at the same time, and you can't be in multiple places at once. And you're forcing me to choose, and I just don't want to be a part of that. Like it's anxiety just to think about which one am I going to go to. And if you pick things too close in proximity, especially with the Essence Festival, you have to find yourself running from one side of town all the way to the next side of town to catch a concert before you miss some of it.
Yeah.
I just don't like being pit in that situation. It's very anxious.
Funny you say that, Chica. I went to one music fest in Atlanta. They do the same thing, and there's stages.
Yeah.
There's 3 or 4 different stages set up in Atlanta, and Murder Inc. Ashanti was performing her little thing, and then City Girls and Jasmine Sullivan was coming on, and I had to choose between all these different and you hear them all starting up. So then your friends, y'all are drinking and eating, and your friends take off running with the blanket to wherever they want to go, and then you gotta find people. I'm like, can y'all please stagger them in another way? Like, it's
And also
horrible.
think about the price point of those tickets, because the more you want to do, of course, the more it's going to cost. You could spending a pretty change trying to catch up with everybody that's involved in this concert series.
Supposed to be separated. We go together. We supposed to stay together. That's how people stay safe.
Oh, Lania, when them performers performing, we go one way. I'm like, y'all not making me miss this person. I'll be gone.
No, it's too much. I'm sorry. I'm stressed already talking about it. I'm good. I'll watch it on TV.
High anxiety.
No.
Well, rapper turned actor, Method Man, born Clifford Smith, he's opened up about his lifelong battle with depression, claiming it never really goes away. Now, we're recently speaking with rapper Fat Joe on his new Star series, Fat Joe Talks. Method Man got real about mental health and much more. Starting off the segment, the two talked about the gut feeling you get when someone crosses your mind and you think to check on them. And he was essentially saying that when you think about someone, you never know what they're going through. Check on them. And he was saying how one time he was feeling really low, and one of his friends reached out to him out the blue and sent him a beautiful message. He said it just changed his whole day. And he mentioned a friend's name Dave, and people are assuming it's Dave West, who played Method Man in the Hulu series Wu-Tang Clan American Saga. And then Fat Joe, he continued to reflect on his own experience with depression, recalling how he was in a dark place when he lost his sister, grandfather, and fellow rapper Big Pun. Method Man offered his compassion and said, "I can only imagine." Method then asked if Fat Joe during that period felt aggressive towards others, and Joe was like, "No," he said, but he'd be laying in his tub with no water, staring at the sky and just really low. But he eventually sought out therapy. He said after 2 years, he stopped beating himself up. But it was good to see these two powerful men in hip hop having these conversations. Chike, these conversations are important, especially for men. Did you hear me?
You froze.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I said it's important. It was good to see these men having these conversations, especially for Black men and these powerful men in hip hop. What are your thoughts?
Listen, you know how I feel about mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
I suffer from depression myself, and it was really good to hear two men of color talk about their issues with depression, because it's a real thing. And I would even argue that it's probably weighing more in the minority communities, just because of the post-traumatic stress that we're kind of born into. So yeah, I'm glad that they're talking. They have a platform. I hope that they encourage more people to talk about it and hopefully seek help, and kill that stigma of seeing someone professional for your issues is not a bad thing.
Yeah. And Lanier, Joe said, I tell people you can be in a gang, you can be in anything, and if somebody tries to kill you, you can move to another state. But when you're fighting your own brain. That's when it's with you all the time.
So, mental health is something that is dear to my heart. Me personally, having been depressed with severe depression and anxiety, and also a high functioning depressive.
Mm-hmm.
It is essential and it's important that we have these conversations, which is part of the reason why I left a toxic work environment, which is part of the reason why I started my nonprofit, and I'm actively working to grow that now. Because for our communities, we are dying. We're dying. We're dying not only physically, but we're dying internally.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not getting the help that we need. And therapy is essential. And I didn't realize how essential it was until my brother passed.
Mm-hmm.
And what came with that, and how grief is an ongoing thing. And it definitely contributes to, because it's part of life, and everything else that happens after that, and how my light for me was dim so long ago, and fighting to get that light back.
Yeah.
It's a everyday, never going to stop process. You have to, it's not going to go away, like he said. This is something you have to work on every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fight. It's a fight.
Yeah.
And you just got to keep fighting through it. And I know that we get tired, but that's what therapy is for. And if you need something more, that's what psychiatry is for.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's okay if you got to take some medicine to balance yourself out. I take anxiety medication. I got to balance myself out sometimes, because life be lifing. And the stuff that we can't control, you got to be able to work through that.
Absolutely. I know for me, I went to therapy. I started therapy 2 years after my mom passed as a check-in, and ended up being life-changing for me. But I say that, I know I go to the gym regularly. That's for my physical health, but therapy is for my mental health, and again, it's ongoing. It's not a one-time, okay, I'm perfect. No, it's ongoing. Brittany, what are your thoughts on these men having this conversation?
Seeing men of color be vulnerable, I think that is so needed to show others that it's okay.
Yeah,
Um, I truly believe in mental health, that is real, and that you have to do everything in your power to take care of it. And I love seeing men of color being able to effectively communicate their emotions, because sometimes it comes out in other ways, and it's just like you could have just said how it made you feel instead of having it. And so I love when you can effectively communicate how something made you feel. Also, Kevin Gates said in an interview that he was going through depression. And he was like, in people's mind, depressed be like they looking like they shabby, they falling apart. He said on the day he was committing suicide, he wore his best outfit. He went and got a haircut, got his hair done, got his car washed. And that was the day he was gonna go kill himself. And actually a fan stopped him from doing it, but he was getting himself ready, looking his very best that day to go out. And he was like, depression and suicide do not look like what most people
right.
think it looks like on the outside. So he said that on the Carisha interview, and when I heard that, that was just an amazing story to hear from him as a Black man. And a fan recognized him in the street leaving the barbershop and actually stopped him from killing himself, letting him know how his music saved him from killing himself. And I think that each one pulling the other one along, like what they're doing and talking about it, like it does make a difference.
Absolutely. They say check on the happiest person in the room, because that's one that you least expect.
Check on your strong friend.
Strong friends, yes. All right, well, according to Forbes, Taylor Swift is now the world's richest female musician with an estimated net worth of $1.6 billion with a B dollars. The financial magazine reports that Swift is first musician to hit billionaire status, largely due to her music and live performances. Chike, are you shocked by this?
No, don't care.
Linnea, are you shocked by this?
He done already took what I was going to say.
I thought about both of y'all when I pulled this story. Because I saw one thing, they were saying that she surpassed Rihanna. I'm like, why did they put Rihanna in this? This has to do with
But there's
Taylor.
always some kind of comparison going on, and I'm over it.
That's why I didn't pull that one. Yeah. Brittany, are you surprised?
Just from her music? Is that what they're saying?
And her lot, she's been on tours for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And to keep it all the way funky, I'm sorry, Brittany, but to keep it all the way funky, if you talk to any musician, I know quite a few, they will tell you there's really no money in music anymore. Like just making music, there's no money in that. You have to hit the road. So I will say this, tremendous work ethic, because she has to be making, in order for her to make that money, she has to be working hard, hitting that, them cities and them countries, So okay, great. Hard worker, great. What the Frank would say? Good gowns.
Beautiful gowns.
To Chike's point, she took a page out of Beyonce's book and put her tour on the Netflix, right?
Well, she did it first.
It was in the movie.
She did it first, in the movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that went to the 1.6 billion.
I'm sure all of it. This was a huge tour for her. And I forgot how much she was making, a lot of money per show. And she did a lot. She's done a lot of them. Like I remember last season, I believe we did a comparison of because they were comparing Beyonce's tour to Taylor's tour, and Beyonce's numbers were up there at a certain point, but Beyonce did half as many shows as she did at that point. You know what I mean? So, but Taylor kept going, and she's coming back to the United States. She finished up in Europe.
And let's keep in mind, she's a single cat lady. She has no children.
Yeah.
So she has time and energy to be able to do
be
whatever she
gone.
wants to do.
That's
To be
true.
gone.
Very true.
Not a cat lady though.
That's what she said.
Well,
That's what she
said
said.
herself.
As she said, make represent JD Vance. Before we go, sad news today. We found out that the late, the great Cissy Houston, gospel great, also the mother of the late great Whitney Houston, she passed away today at the age of 91. She had Alzheimer's disease and had been in hospice care. Recently just had a birthday, but she passed away. Job well done. 91 is a long time to be around, and our condolences to her family and friends and fans.
And did we acknowledge everybody's dad, John Amos? Did we talk about him?
Did we talk about what? I don't know if we talked about
That's
what.
how we did.
Talk about him.
We didn't talk about last week.
Rich Homie Quan.
Yeah, we had a lot of people.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
we're losing our legends. That's hard. That's hard.
Mm.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for Hot Topics. Chike, I will see your movie reviews, and we will.
Can I do a very obvious plug for myself?
Absolutely.
People, please check me out, PhillySoulNow.com. Check out my latest article on the legendary Frankie Beverly. I had some stars come and help me write this article. I got some great quotes for some great artists. Please, if you want to know about what's happening on the Philly music scene, what's coming up new, please check us out at PhillySoulNow.com. Thank you.
Check them out, y'all. Right back after this.